Good evening. This is Tisha McDonald's Alternatives Beauty Studio.
And I am Tanika Gillard. Nikki, I am naturally yours.
Nikki, how was your day today?
It was a good day. I'm in my robe. I'm snugly and warm because we have icy weather here in Alabama. How
It's
about
supposed to
you?
it's supposed to come this way tomorrow, tonight. So yeah. But anyway, let's get into our subject for tonight. Everybody has been talking about Tessica Brown, that they call her Gorilla Glue Girl, but I don't want to call her that. Because everybody has a story and that was her story. So let's just respect her as Tessica Brown and the Gorilla Glue Girl.
Okay.
So I want to say for years people have been putting glue in their hair. She may have gone to the extreme, but I want to come with a different twist on this because we do some silly things sometimes in this industry. So it just so happened this week I saw two court shows regarding glue in the hair.
Okay.
So one was Judge Million, the People's Court, for people who don't know, and that case was about a client. She went to get butterfly locks, and a cosmetologist. She just graduated cosmetology school. But in cosmetology school, they don't teach you how to do braids, how to end braids, so she didn't know. So she was a cosmetologist, just graduated. However, she went to, I can't say, that university, the one that everybody's on the platform, um, to learn how to do these butterfly locks. And at the end, the person was putting the glue on the hair. So she put the glue on the client's butterfly locks, and instead of putting it at the ends of the hair, she actually got it in her hair. So that was the lawsuit for Judge Million, the People's Court, last week. So the client ended up having to cut her hair because the glue was throughout her hair. So when you talk about Tessica Brown, she's not the only one. Hers was to the extreme. Nobody has heard it on that scale, but that's not something new. So she got sued, but they only gave her the price that she paid for her hair. So if it was $175, that's what she got back. Actually, it was 175, but then the cosmetologist had bought the hair, so she got that $50. So she only got $125, but I think she should have got some punitive damages because she ended up having to cut her hair. Now she has to wait for her hair to grow back. That was a traumatic experience. The cosmetologist should have known not to put the glue on her hair. And if you don't know how to do something, just be honest. Where's your integrity to say, I just don't know how to do it? But to put
That's
the
all I'm
glue,
saying. That's
put
all
the
I'm
glue
saying.
in the hair, that is the problem. You give me your take on that case, and then I have another case because everybody's talking about
That's
Tessica
all I'm
Brown.
saying. If you don't
Yeah.
know how to do something, just say you don't know how to do it, or this is my first time doing this. Um, you know, I had a client, a real life client in my chair who went to someone from that same university who did a rubber band method on her head. And she said, Nikki, I knew something was wrong because she kept looking at the video while she was doing my hair. And I'm like, well, that's what y'all get. That's all I have to say on that. Like, if you don't research the person that you're going to, if you're trying to get the cheapest rate, somebody had tagged me in a post, but someone was looking for someone that didn't want to pay other salon prices. So they wanted someone cheaper. And someone tagged me in that post. Don't tag me in that. And then somebody else was like, well, some of the other cosmetologists charge just as much as they do. But know what you're getting when you're going to see your braider. Does she have the experience or the background? Is she watching videos and trying to learn as she go? I think that case, she's a new cosmetologist. The things that we do and that we are teaching with Twinness is not taught in cosmetology school. I know even for the state of Alabama, they say what we do is advanced. They don't teach what we do. They don't teach what we teach or what we are teaching. They're not teaching that in cosmetology school. So go ahead with your next case.
Okay, so the next case that came on last week, ironically, and this is right after the Tessica Brown story, was actually a cosmetologist who was suing her wig manufacturer. Okay, so she was going on vacation and she wanted some Malaysian hair, but like you were just saying, she did not want to pay Malaysian price. So she contacted her, manufacturer, and she said, "Give me the cheapest hair you got." So the manufacturer said, "Here's the bottom of the barrel." The hair started. Well, it's the truth, right? So she sent her the bottom of the barrel, and the hair started shedding. So the manufacturer was like, "Okay, let me put some glue so the hair could stop shedding." So the cosmetologist had someone that graduated from school, so someone else, a former student, put the weave in. Now, okay, so what happens is the first week that the weave is in, it's itching. Okay, then the second week, it's now starting to blister or whatever, and so she left it in a third week. Okay, so Judge Karen, that's the court case. Judge Karen was like, after it was itching the first week, why didn't you just take it out? And she was saying, "Oh, I think I was allergic to the glue." But there were so many factors there. One, if the person that put it in was new, just fresh out of school, how do you know that she even applied it correctly? Did she apply it too tight? Did she, you know what I'm saying? Was it a glue-on weave? Was it a glue-on weave, or was it a sew-on weave? Um, so the bottom line was, she said, I was allergic to the glue, that the hair was reattached on the weft. Da, 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 da. It was just a mess. So she lost her case. Now, the first case, Judge Million, the customer won that case. But this one, where the cosmetologist was suing the manufacturer, she lost that case because you should not, if you have an itching or adverse reaction, you need to take that off right away. Why wait 3 weeks just because you're going on vacation?
Right. My thing is, and I think that that's where people start to trust me is because I'm a nurse first, and then I'm a stylist as well. And I had a client who is a cosmetologist to tell me that she's allergic to synthetic hair. I'm like, no. If you was allergic, you would have broke out as soon as I put this to your scalp. Even 10 minutes in, you would have had a reaction right away if you was truly allergic, because she was saying, I'm leaving these in for 6 to 8 weeks, and then I'm going to take it out because I'm allergic to the hair. And I'm like, no, that's misinformation right there. If you was allergic, this is not your first time getting synthetic hair. This is your second time getting synthetic hair. If you was truly allergic, you would have had a reaction right away. So that's number one. So far as that situation, that's just crazy. I don't know what to say. I have no judgments there, none, because people need to be informed and educated on everything and stop trying to take the cheapest route. That's my thing. Stop trying to be so frugal to be nice. Stop trying to be so cheap.
And what is the saying? You get what you pay for. So if you're paying
You,
for the cheapest bottom of the barrel hair, you got to expect it. Oh, Tanika, I'm sorry, we're going off the subject a little, but not by much. When you want to get the cheapest synthetic hair, that was like back in the day, and you want to pay for the 50 cents hair. Of course, you're going to have a reaction to that because it's the lowest grade hair that you can. It's just plastic that you're putting on your head. That's why the standards have come up. But I will not supply anybody with hair because you know what you can afford, you know what you want, etc., etc. But back to the glue. The glue is not something new for braiders. Not me particularly, personally. I don't use glue on to end any braid. And you
I'm
know
gonna
that there
pause
are
you real
salons.
quick, T. I gotta pause you because we gotta comment back to Miss Dahlia, who made
Oh
a
yes,
comment. So no need to go on. Let's address that issue right there, Miss Dahlia. Yes, We do need to teach our kids how to embrace their natural hair. Yes. However, parents, like we're in a different time. Before, moms was home and could take the time and do their kids' hair and whatever, get them ready for school. But now moms are working and they're like, hey, I ain't got time for this. Let's get it braided and get you to school or whatever like that. So that's one factor. The next factor is children. Like I have a young lady that came yesterday. She's about 12 years old, and her mom is like, well, you need to learn how to do your own hair yourself. Now she's getting natural styles, yes, but she doesn't know how to care for her own hair, and her mom is trying to get her in the position to do it herself. Although the mom wears extensions, she wears box braids. So yes, it really depends on the family. If you are not accepting of yourself, how can you teach your children to be accepting of themselves in their natural state? Sometimes you have parents that have chemicals in their hair, but want their children to be natural. It doesn't go hand in hand, because the child is looking at the parent. So it's what you see and what's embraced. Granted, in school now, I think the naturals are more acceptable in school now. However, you still got to have a look to your natural. It can't be dry and unmoisturized, you know what I'm saying? Because that's when you get the bullying and things like that. So it really just depends on the family economics and the family situation. So I can't judge on, them embracing their natural hair or not. Of course, my daughter has natural hair. My niece has natural hair. So it really just depends on the family situation. What's your take on that, T?
Again, you are watching the Twin List tonight, and this is Tisha McDonald and Tanika Gillard. We thank you for watching tonight, and I am going to respond to Miss Dahlia. She's a client of mine. Um, there needs to be a campaign for young girls and women to learn to embrace their God-given hair. Agreed. And you know me, natural hair care specialist, so of course I agree with that. Also, teach them and their families not to degrade them and say that you. Let me tell you a story, Dahlia. Let me tell you a story. So I went to a Paul Mitchell school, and I was the only one that specialized, of course, in natural hair and braiding. So anytime someone came in and wanted braids, anytime it was a black student, a black client that walked in, they automatically sent them to me. Now, one time, the instructor said in front of everybody to the child and the mother, she needs a relaxer. I pulled the teacher to the side because I'm a grown woman. I was grown when I went to cosmetology school, so she wasn't going to scare me. Now, if I was younger, maybe 17, 18, just coming out of school, I probably wouldn't have approached her, but I did approach her. And I said, that's not right. You shouldn't say that. And you're saying it in front of everybody. And you said it to the little girl. And that does not do good for her self-esteem. I said, I'll take her. Like it was bad that she said that. And it was bad that she said it in front of the class. It was bad that she said it in front of the little girl. And it was bad that the mother didn't check her. So I took care of the little girl, to say the least. But the schools do not teach that. They're not going to teach that. It's considered an advanced thing, an advanced course to even teach that. So I go around to the different schools, the different beauty schools, and I do workshops. Or I do teach how to braid, how to lock, how to weave. And by going to a Paul Mitchell school, I did learn how to do the beading method, which is not a method that we commonly use, but it's a method that's commonly used by others.
Also,
So I learned something there.
to
Yes.
piggyback on that, we understand that generations ahead of us understood, and this is going back to the young lady with the Gorilla Glue. We understood that back then you had to have straight hair to be accepted in the workplace. And even our grandparents and great grandparents still today sometimes will say, oh, your hair looks horrible. You need to do something to your hair, so we understand that that was the time that they were in. But times are changing. But Diane Bailey, she's really campaigning for all the states to passed the Crown Act, which says you can't be discriminated against at your workplace. Because I'm in Alabama, it's an at-will state. And if they don't like your hair, they will fire you. They won't say it's because of your hair. I know this personally because I had a counselor at the college I graduated from who started out, when I started out, he had locks. When I was graduating, he did not. And he said if he was not behind those four walls, he would tell me what happened, why he had to cut his locks off. So Diane Bailey is a pioneer of the natural hair community. And so she's really been working to get this Crown Act passed in a lot of the states so that we're not discriminated against. Also, when you talk about, and I know we're getting off a little bit, but when you talk about embracing your natural hair and things, my son has asked for cornrows. He's never asked for locks. And I'm in the state of Alabama, and I won't let him get either one. He can't get locks and he can't get cornrows because I know how the children are picked out in the state of Alabama and in school. So that's a negative for me.
Okay, and then the other thing is, Talia, you know me. I do a lot of foster kids. I do a lot of adoptive parents that I have white foster parents that have black or biracial children, and they don't know how to do their hair. And I have two in particular that will just cut their children's natural hair off instead of letting them learn it, how to comb it, how to moisturize it, how to wash it. They don't want to be bothered. They don't want to learn. They don't want the education. They say, yes, their hair is beautiful, but it's too thick. They don't want to. And so, what am I going to say? I can't tell them how to parent. I could just advise, and no, there is no such thing as bad hair, in my opinion. And then I have a lot of clients that'll come in and say, oh, this hair is so thick, I just don't know what to do with it. But then when I comb it, it seems like a breeze, and I know your hair journey. And we've been back and forth, back and forth. And Dahlia is a nurse, Nikki. Dahlia is a nurse. Thank you for your service, Dahlia. And now she has locks, but we started with a relaxer and we just walked through. We did the braids, and now she's locked.
I love it. I love it. For me, and we'll get back onto the glue. I have clients who are transitioning from relaxer to locks or to natural, and I love it. One of my celebrity clients was like, hey, my niece does not need a relaxer. I want her to have locks. And so we transitioned her from a relaxer to micro locks. And now she's loving her hair. It was a transition for real, because she's only young. She's young, she's a minor. And so that transition, but once she saw my hair, because I wore it down just for her, and she was like, okay, I can do this. So we did some things to get her there. We did kinky twists and box braids, but now she's at a level where she can wear her own locks and she's proud of her natural hair. So we are making some strides.
And we're not saying this to say go locks, go locks. We're not saying that. That was our choice. This started out as Tessica Brown's story, but I was just saying that there are other cases. Glue is not something new, but that Judge Million case, it was the nail glue that was put on the ends of her hair, or she thought was on the ends of her hair, and it ended up being throughout her hair. But we know other salons and shops that will put nail glue at the tips of a braid to keep the braid from opening up or unraveling. And so that is not something new. That's something that we know. But also,
Right.
yeah, so Judge Million even said to her husband at the end of the show, there's nail glue for nails, there's hair glue for hair, and why would you use nail glue on hair? But what she doesn't know is because of the consistency of the nail glue that is used for the ends of, for sealing the braids. Because if you use
Right.
hair glue, that's really for weaving. That's not for closing up the ends of a braid.
When I moved to Alabama, a lot of people were using nail glue to complete micro braids. And I never understood why they were gluing micro braids. Being as I'm from New York, I'm like, why are y'all putting glue on the end of these braids? You just put a knot there and keep it moving. So that was something new that I saw when I moved down here. I never knew that. It was several things. They would get a relaxer just right before they got braids. And I never understood, why would you need a fresh relaxer to get braids? I need that grit to braid your hair. It was just crazy. I don't know. So, But
Well, it depends on the type of braid too, because you would get a relaxer to get like a goddess braid, goddess cornrow, for example, wherein you don't really need your relaxer for a box braid, so or a kinky twist, because when you
mhm,
think about the type of hair that's used for a kinky twist on top of a relaxer, the two just does not combine. It just
mhm.
doesn't, you know. So that is what I had to say about Tessica Brown. And, you know, I don't know where she's going to go from here. Is she going to now stay natural? Is she going to go ahead and, well, I doubt that she will put another chemical in her hair. Um, but it just goes to show the lengths that we will go to be perfect, so to speak.
Yeah, have our hair nice and straight and slick and smooth. And so that was a lot in a lot of articles were saying that about how our community feel like we have to have it. We've been ingrained to have our hair a certain way to be accepted in society. So they're looking at it from that aspect as well, you know.
Like
Um,
Dahlia said, if the parents would teach their kids that their hair is just beautiful the way it is, it wouldn't be so much of a, stigma. If the
But
parents,
you know, even with me, I'm in a lot of lock groups per se, and there's some people that have a hard time with that. Like they'll have the locks, but they still want to know what's the best edge control. Like y'all can see my hair right now. I don't have no edge control. It's just sticking up, doing whatever it's doing. But you know, a lot of times people, even with braids, locks, or even with their natural hair, they have to have those edges just right. And so I don't know if that's something about not accepting your natural hair or the way it looks, or if they just want to have a finished, polished look.
okay, okay. So that's what we were talking about tonight, guys. You could catch us on Wednesday night. We will be here on a totally different subject. Wednesday night, we will be talking to um, Cheryl, who is a homeschooling parent, and she's been doing this all her life. All three of her kids have been homeschooled from kindergarten on up. So that will be Wednesday night at what time are we coming live, Nikki?
6 o'clock, my
6 o'clock.
time.
Okay. No, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And on Sunday, we will be back with you guys, back to braiding, back to the basics of braiding. We will be adorning, we will be showing you how to do tight stitches. And we have a workshop coming up on the 28th of this month, and it is Don't Get Your Braids in the Head.
Don't get your
Don't,
twisted or not.
no, we said don't
No,
get your twist in the knot.
I can't think of the name of this one.
A
A
twist
twist for
on
braids.
braids.
A
Twist
twist for
on
braids.
braids. So that's
Hmm.
our workshop at the end of the month on February 28th. That's a twist on braids, and we will be doing all kinds of braids, showing you the advance. Right now, we do the first 3 weeks of the month is freebies. We're just showing you tips and tricks and how to start braids. And we have a testimony. Rehani sent me a video. I didn't get to look at it, but she did her braid and it looked pretty good from the picture, but I didn't get to play the video, but it looked pretty good. So I want to say congratulations, Rehani. And I see Donna is on from Keeping It Real Counseling. She was on last week. She was a guest. And so thank you for watching tonight. But we just had to talk about Tessica Brown and the Gorilla Glue. And we wanted to give our spin on this because this is not a new topic. This is not a new subject. Glue has been put in here throughout the years. Not necessarily right, but it has been done. And I saw two court shows last week just on this one um, case or situation of the glue in the hair. So, we got to be careful. We got to be mindful. And we got to know who we're going to as technicians. Who's doing our hair? Who's braiding our hair? Do they have experience? Are they being mentored properly? Because sometimes you have an apprentice. I've mentored several girls from school. Why are you laughing?
Because if you're looking at your YouTube video while you're doing the hair, that's a red flag right there. You know, it's like she's watching the video while she's doing my hair. That's like a red flag right there. I'm just laughing at just the
You
thought
wasn't
of
supposed
that.
to say the platform.
Huh?
You wasn't supposed to say the
I said
platform.
the platform. I didn't
You did.
realize I said it.
You're gonna
I'm
get us in
sorry.
trouble. So we want to say thank you guys for joining us tonight. And if you want to learn how to braid, come to our seminar on February 28th. It's only $97. And you will learn so many braids, so many techniques, so many secrets, so many things. We'll give you personal tips, we will give you personal business tips, we will give you the lowdown on how to do it the right way.
And let me say this, if y'all have any questions, put it in the chat. We will address and give us some topics that you want to discuss, something that you are concerned about, have questions on. That's what we're here for. We're going to teach you the right way to seal those ends, to get those ends right without all of the glue.
And if you like what Tanika and I are doing, please share our videos. Share it out, hit like, something. Let us know that you are watching, that you are listening, that you enjoy our shows because we come to you twice a week and we might start coming to you a little more, whether it's together or individually. You will see more of Tisha and Tanika. Thank you for joining us and have a good night.
Good night.